Hey bro, a few months ago I went out with my friend. So I arrived at his apartment. Then we decided to go hiking in this park I'd never been before. So we arrived at the park and then went trekking for a couple of hours, a few hours, and we saw some amazing views of the city. I really enjoyed looking at the coastline of my town, Perth, at this place called Bold Park, and we walked around to the other side, and then you could see the whole city because it's like the park was on a hill. And then we had some really amazing, deep conversations about life and relationships and just health and wealth and well-being and how to live. And it was just a really, really wholesome experience. And then we ended up, finishing up, went back to his apartment, and then we had dinner. Now, at this stage, I'd been on self-improvement for about 6 months, and I would have never contacted him because I would be still playing video games in my room, just self-obsessed, just being a loner, literally outside of work, just being a loner in my room at home, playing video games, single player games, social anxiety, because I'd get so anxious talking to guild mates in another game, so I used to just play that game by myself as well. And because I'd been on this dopamine detox, so no video games, no entertainment, nothing that spikes your dopamine from excitement from some sort of like artificial source, everything else in my life just got way more interesting. So I initially started habits like meditation, where it's a practicing focusing on your breathing or your toes. It doesn't matter what you focus on, as long as you're fully concentrating on focusing on something. It makes you happier because scientific studies have shown that focus makes you much happier. When I had time to quit these video games, I had so much time to do so many other things, and I was actually, while playing video games, I was quite like depressed some days because I would boot up the game, I'd be so bored. I'd boot up another game, I'd be bored. I'd boot up another game, a few minutes later, I'd be bored again, and I would just look for new games to download, and it would just be this cycle of trying to trace that instant gratification of feeling good. Might be really comfortable sitting at home in your room playing video games all the time. So it really takes you to have some damn pride in yourself to want to actually improve your life and stop this hijack of like 50% of your brain power to these video games and other forms of entertainment. And I don't think, watching Netflix is probably not as bad, or TV, because you're not constantly thinking about the TV all the time. Like if you're playing video games, you obviously have websites you go visit to look at builds and maybe talk with friends, get some feedback on Reddit or whatever about or a certain topic of the game, and it's like constantly with you 24/7 almost. Like you'll wake up early, play video games, you'll stay up late playing video games, it'll fuck up your sleep. Because we're social creatures, we need to socialize in order to promote happiness in our lives. And because your brain is hijacked 50% of the time, probably more, maybe less, but it's definitely fogging up your vision of what you see the true world. So it makes it hard to see beyond the video games, beyond the virtual world, and get out there in the real world and start socializing with people and actually having memories that you can look back on and say, wow, I really had a great time with this person. Because when you're playing video games, you look back at your memories, and most of it's just a blur. You don't really care much about it. It's probably half depressing, a little bit of excitement, but that excitement doesn't stick with in your memory, and you don't feel fulfilled in your life. You don't really have a purpose. I mean, your purpose is to level up in the video game, which is a very extremely shallow, self-centered purpose. I mean, I don't mean to be insulting, but just think how much happier you would be if you were trying to fulfill a life purpose. So something in the real world, something tangible, something that you could look back on or maybe perhaps make some money from or make new friends from. It's like the equivalent of, say, playing Counter-Strike Go with no other people in it. You're just going to be running around the whole map and doing nothing. It'd be so boring. The game would be finished before you even started. And you obviously It might not be obvious to you now, but most people do have visions of success in certain areas of their life, and video games are really holding you back because of that hijacking of your, I guess I could say, nervous system, your brain. It's just really hard to pursue your dreams and the success that you want in certain areas of your life. Like, just ask yourself, is this really what you want? Is it really what you really want to just sit down in front of a screen for hours and hours on end every day for the rest of your life? Once you're free of this grip of video game addiction, you can start to optimize other parts of your life, which will make you even happier in all areas of your life, because you'll be getting better sleep, you'll be optimizing your diet, getting exercise, working on getting more attractive to the opposite sex, working on your body at the gym, doing bodybuilding, meeting new people, finding out who you're not compatible with, who you are really compatible with, and just doing little things in your days where you just socialize with anyone, because your social skills are so damn amazing from quitting video games 6 months ago, and you've just been getting 1% better every day, so you're 150% better through half the year. And that's what I recommend. Just get 1% better every day. So 100 days later, you're 100% better. You're 100% more attractive. You're 100% better at socializing. You have a 100% better diet, 100% better exercise. Just little things add up. So just start really small. 1 minute of meditation every day. I'd recommend that because it makes you more focused, concentrate better. You're more present with people. It basically boosts your charisma. And gratitude practices will make you happier, and cold showers will increase your mood in the morning. Letting lots of sunlight during the day will increase your testosterone in a safe, healthy way. I mean, if you're getting lots of sunlight in a safe, healthy way, so you don't just stare at the sun. So this year that I've got on self-improvement, I can really look back and it's been the happiest, best year of my life, because I was addicted to video games for 25 years. And that was honestly a shit life. Like, those 25 years were shit. I might have had some good experiences, but most of the time it was shit. It was depressing. Living in this virtual world, once you quit, get on self-improvement, you just don't even think about what you did in these video games, because it's just in like a different plane of, a software. It's almost meaningless. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me. I wish someone I had back in the past when I was playing video games, I wish someone would bitch slap me into thinking or just imagining the actual reality I would have, because it's so hard when you're addicted to video games to see what's actually possible and how happy you can actually get when you optimize your life and you're doing all the good habits. You don't get, the negative thoughts anymore. You don't get the negative moods, depression. I mean, that is part of everyday life, but the symptoms of self-improvement just boost you so far ahead. You're just able to cope with things so much better. Social situations are just a breeze. You actually enjoy being social. If you're being insulted by what I'm saying, I'm just trying to make you see what's possible in the future if you actually stopped doing these bad habits like video games, if it's an addiction. And even if it isn't an addiction, I think it's still a really bad habit, because you might have friends that you play with, you socialize with, but if you weren't playing video games together, would you still be friends? Really ask yourself that question. And you're probably thinking, where do I start? Well, I'd recommend watching Harms's video. So he's literally got every guide on how to improve in certain areas of your life and what to do. So he's great for young men who want to become on self-improvement. And if you do follow this path of self-improvement, it really is a beautiful thing. You'll be so much better than all the other people that are stuck at your level, unable to escape to really progress themselves in their lives. I wish I could go back 24 years ago and get off video games and really live a more fulfilling life. Imagine how much further I would be ahead of myself now, because 24 years of playing video games would have been cut away, and I would have just flourished so much more. That's why my persona is probably more of a teenager, because that's when I started playing video games, and I'm 36 now. Like, imagine how much more money you would be making per month the sooner you get off video games, how much easier it would be to be in social situations. You wouldn't get social anxiety. You'd just be like the social charismatic god. Because if you didn't know, charisma is a skill, so is like sales is a skill, and obviously social skills, right? And when you really get into self-improvement, learning actually becomes fun, and you start reading books on amazing ways to make money, amazing ways to be more charismatic, amazing ways to become more social. Like, you know, in GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5, you can sit down and watch TV or, smoke weed. You're literally not progressing in the game. You're just staying at level, whatever you are, not going forward. And that's literally how playing video games in real life is. Like, you're not getting any real life XP. So everyone who's actually trying to improve themselves are like leveling up, getting more XP, and you're just stuck at that same level. So really have some pride in yourself, look at yourself within, and you just say that you really want to get better. You really want to kick this addiction. Let the hijacking of your brain be released to fully live out your purpose and to be more successful in the areas of your life that you want to be more successful in. Imagine all the bad habits highly successful people are still doing, and if you can kick out all those bad habits, which is kind of beyond, it's like the ultimate end goal for self-improvement, but you just want to start out small, because if you go too fast, the habits won't stick. You won't be able to keep doing the same thing every day because it'll just become too hard for you. Love you.